Greetings and welcome to your judges training video for this round of the competition. I want to start off by expressing our appreciation to you. Thank you for being here today and giving of your time to help evaluate these students. It is greatly appreciated and we could not do this without you. The students you're about to watch have spent the past months getting ready for this competition. Their faculty have also devoted a lot of time to preparing them. Keep in mind that this is in addition to the regular course load and coursework for both faculty and students. Because of this, we ask that you give your full attention to these videos. It is very important to the process. And as always, thank you for your support of these students and faculty. A main difference with this competition is that students follow one potential lead all the way through the process, taking the sale from a lead through needs identification, through intermediate decision makers, and finally to a top executive decision. Unlike earlier rounds, you will notice that the needs ID and presentation are more closely weighted in this round. That is because the objective of this round is more focused on moving the sale forward. This role play will be 20 minutes in length, and the salesperson should spend that time making sure they're understanding the prospect's main issues and persuasively matching the benefits of their product to meet the needs of this buyer. Let's take a closer look at some of the elements on the score sheets in front of you. At the opening of the meeting, we're looking for a good professional introduction, including a handshake and eye contact. At some point at the beginning, the salesperson should build some rapport with this customer as well. They should explain the purpose for this meeting and the goals for the next 20 minutes. And then we're also looking for a smooth transition into needs identification rather than just abruptly launching into questions. For the needs identification stage, we're looking for the student at some point to uncover the decision process that involves three main parts. What criteria are important to this decision? What people will be involved in the decision process? And are there any potential timing issues? We're also looking for the student to ask some questions and uncover any relevant facts that relate to this company and buyer as it relates to their product that they're selling. We're looking for the student to ask more questions and learn about the prospect's main issues here. They might also uncover or reveal some of the issues they learned from earlier role plays, but they should explore that there are any more that this particular client sees that maybe they haven't uncovered yet. Once they've learned about these issues, they should explore the pain associated with them or the implications. They should ask questions to see what problems arise when the prospect has these issues. They should also ask, if they can provide a solution, what gains could be made. Finally, the student should summarize what they have uncovered and ask the prospect if they are willing to hear a solution. We call this gaining pre-commitment. So essentially, they're trying to get acceptance from the prospect to consider the product or service. There are sheets that are provided in front of you that list the prospect's needs and concerns. We call this the buyer's script. Sometimes additional or different buying motives evolve during the conversation naturally. It is more the process and the technique of the student that you're evaluating rather than did they uncover all of those specific needs. The presentation phase is more involved in this round. At some point, the student should establish that their company is credible and can deliver a solution to this particular prospect. They should also show how their features will connect to the issues that this prospect is having. So convincingly connecting those needs to what their product can do. Now, we are looking for the student to present more than just features. At some point, they should discuss the benefits that the prospect will get from the product that they're selling. So we're not looking for just a feature dump here. We're also looking for the student to make a connection and reveal what benefits could be derived from the solution, what value the customer is going to get from using their company. At some point, the student should use the appropriate visual aids as necessary. And we're looking for the student to involve the buyer in this presentation process, rather than just strictly delivering a one-way presentation where the buyer has little to no involvement whatsoever. Finally, we are looking for the student to use trial closes. What these are questions to determine that the prospect feels that, yes, this is a good solution and we might want to move forward with it. So we're looking to test the customer's receptivity to this solution and how ready they are to perhaps buy. At some point in the process, the customer will offer some sort of resistance or objection. We're looking for the student to do three main things when these happen. First of all, the student should make sure they clarify and understand what the customer is talking about. They can do this by either asking some more probing questions or allowing the customer to elaborate on that concern. Next, they should effectively answer that concern in whatever way is appropriate and provide whatever information that they need to reassure this customer that that concern will be taken care of. Finally, we do want the student to ask and make sure that that concern is no longer an issue of the buyer. So they should confirm that the buyer is now comfortable with the information provided and is no longer worried about that issue. Toward the end of the role play, we are looking for the student to provide persuasive reasoning and possible financial justification for purchasing the product or service. Also, the student should ask for the business or an appropriate commitment from the buyer, given the nature of this call. Keep in mind you're not evaluating whether or not the customer says yes or no to that commitment question. You're evaluating whether or not the student persists and asks for that commitment. Finally, there are some overall evaluations we'd like you to make throughout the entire role play. How is the student's verbal speaking skills? Did they use appropriate grammar? Did they minimize filler words? Were they listening well to their customer, asking questions or paraphrasing when necessary? And finally, how were their nonverbal communications? Gesture, posture? Did it add to the communication or distract from it? Or was it not even present? Finally, we are looking for the student to display that they are knowledgeable about the product that they're selling and knowledgeable about business in general throughout that conversation. We're looking to see if the student was enthusiastic and confident throughout that role play. And then finally, was the role play more of a flowing conversation rather than a rigid script? So what would be a 2 or a 6 or a 10? Well, it's up to you. Obviously, if there's a complete absence of the skill being evaluated, that would be a 0. But how would you rate a student? 3, 7? The most important thing is to be consistent. If you watch 2 students' professional introduction and you felt that they were very similar, then your score should reflect that similarity. If one student was clearly superior to the other, then that should also be reflected in your scores. After the first 3 role plays, what we're going to do is pause and let you level set across those 3 videos. You may have initially put a 4 for a student on one particular part of the evaluation. But after watching the last 2, you feel that that 4 should be much higher because they outperformed the following 2 students. Similarly, you might have rated the first 2 competitors a 9 on one aspect of that evaluation sheet, but after seeing the last student, you might want to lower those scores because you see that there was much more room for improvement. Once you're satisfied with the first 3 sets of scores, the room monitor will enter those scores and they will become permanent. After each remaining video, we will then collect and enter those scores. Once again, thank you for your time today and lending us your expertise in the evaluation of these students. We hope you enjoy these videos and we hope you enjoy the rest of your time here at this competition. Happy viewing!